Welcome to Pre-Calc, lesson 1.1, function basics. Okay, so a lot of this should sound familiar, but the more you hear it, the better it is. So a relation is a set of ordered pairs. A function is a special relation between two variables such that to each variable of the independent such that to each value of the independent variable called the domain, there corresponds exactly one value of the dependent variable, commonly known as the range, aka the domain cannot repeat. Okay, so if we're going to decide if each relation is a function, we're looking to see if the domain repeats. So looking at the domain, 2, 3, -1, 2. 2 repeats, so not a function. The area of a circle is a function of the radius. Area equals pi r squared. So this is a function because you can choose any value for r. Andy, Ruth Ann, Liz, Ken, Sean. We only care about the friends because the friends is the input and that is our domain. So yes, this is a function. And then again, just looking at each one, there's one line coming out of each number. So yes, it's a function. Okay, so function notation, many ways to look at it. F of x is common, what you've seen before. Just a lowercase letter like f, g, and h also works. Y equals f of x, they're interchangeable. So sometimes we use y equals, sometimes we use f of x. So it doesn't matter. And then f of 2 equals 9 is telling you when x is 2, y equals 9. So we got an ordered pair there. Okay, we did a lot of that in Algebra 2, so it's important that you remember it. Okay, the rule of 4, graphically, numerically, algebraically, and in words. Those are the 4 ways to represent our functions. Okay, graphically, obviously with a graph, numerically is a table with a set of ordered pairs. Algebraically can be an equation with 2 variables, so 2 letters. And then words is a verbal description with input variables related to the output variables. So a lot of the times that could be a simple word problem where the total cost for the number of notebooks you buy. So notebooks is your input, total cost is your output. Okay, so let's evaluate some functions. We are replacing x in the function with whatever they provide to us. So f of 2 means we're taking x here and we are replacing it with 2, okay? So 2 times 2 squared minus 3 times 2. And then we simplify. So 2 times 4 minus 6, 8 minus 6 is 2. So we have f of 2 equals 2. Or you could write it as an ordered pair, 2, 2. Because we have x and we have y. Okay, f of x is the function, nothing changing. So 2x squared minus 3x. F of 2 we just solved for, right? Right there. So we know f of 2 is 2. So we can just replace that with 2. F of 2x. So 2 times 2x squared minus 3 times 2x. Simplify it as much as you can. So that's going to give us 2 times 4x squared. I did actually square the inside. Minus 6x, so 8x squared minus 6x. Okay, with the negative on the outside, that means we're taking our function and distributing in a negative, okay? So it'll be negative 2x squared minus 3x. And then we distribute in that negative. So negative 2x squared plus 3x. That's how you deal with the negative on the outside. Okay. Negative on the inside means we're replacing the x on the inside. So 2 negative x squared minus 3 times negative x. Okay, well, negative x squared is a positive x squared. So 2x squared, and then negative 3 times negative x is positive 3x. X plus 2. So we're replacing x with x plus 2. So 2 times x plus 2 squared minus 3 times x plus 2. Okay, we need to FOIL this. So 2 times x plus 2 times x plus 2 minus, we can go ahead and distribute that in, minus 3x minus 6. Okay, I'm going to FOIL this. So 2 times x squared plus 2x plus 2x plus 4 minus 3x minus 6. Combine like terms. So 2 times x squared plus 4x plus 4 minus 3x minus 6. Okay, distribute in the 2. So 2x squared plus 8x plus 4 minus 3x minus 6. Last step, combine like terms. 2x squared plus 5x minus 2. There we go. Okay. X plus h, so same thing. We need to substitute. So 2 times x plus h squared minus 3 times x plus h. Okay, foiling. So 2 x plus h times x plus h minus 3x minus 3h. Foil. 2 x squared plus xh plus xh plus h squared minus 3x minus 3h. Combine like terms. 2 x squared plus 2xh plus h squared minus 3x minus 3h, and distribute. So 2x squared plus 4xh plus 2h squared minus 3x minus 3h. No like terms from here, so that is the answer. Okay, lots of pieces here. We just solved the f of x plus h over here. That whole thing. So we can go ahead and replace that piece with what we got. So 2x squared plus 4xh plus 2h squared minus 3x minus 3h. Okay, now this piece minus the original function, so 2x squared minus 3x all over h. Okay, so this is a minus 2x squared. I'm going to change the color there. Minus, because you'll distribute that negative in, okay? So that's a positive 3x and a negative 2x squared. So negative 2x squared and 2x squared, those will cancel. And then a positive 3x and a negative 3x, those cancel. So we're left with 4xh plus 2h squared minus 3h all over h. Now we can divide in the h there. So 4x plus 2h minus 3 is our answer. Okay, a little tricky, but there it is. Okay, implicit and explicit. Implicit is just an equation with the letters on the same side of the equation. So if I had 5x squared minus 2y cubed equals 4, that is implicit. Okay? But when you get y by itself, so y equals 3x squared minus 2x plus 7, that is explicit because the y is by itself. Okay? So when it says write it as an explicit equation, it's because it's asking you to get y by itself. Okay, so given implicitly defined functions, solve each for y in terms of x. So aka just solve to get y by itself. And then state whether the equation represents a function. So function means we need one x for every y. So the first things first, let's get y by itself. So subtract 2x. 3y equals 5 minus 2x. Divide by 3. So y equals 5/3 minus 2/3 x. This would create a line, so it is a function. Okay. Get y by itself. I'm going to add 2y over and subtract 3. So x squared minus 3 equals 2y. Divide by 2. Y equals x 1/2 x squared minus 3/2. Y is by itself. X being squared creates a parabola, a U shape. You can use Desmos to help you graph this as well, so you can see what the graphs look like. But it is a function when it's a parabola. The vertical line test will help prove that for you as well. Divide x over y equals 1 over x. This is our rational function. So yes, it is a function. Again, use Desmos or your graphing calculator to help you. Okay, subtract x squared over. So y squared equals 4 minus x squared. Square root. Y equals plus minus the square root of 4 minus x squared. When you square root an equation with variables, you have to add the plus minus in there. Okay, this creates a circle as our graph. And circles are not a function. Okay. There we go. Finding the domain. Your domain is always your x values. So you should know how to do this. And range is always your y values. So domain is x, range is y. So this should be familiar to you. Okay. Domain is our x values from least to greatest. And we use the set notation formula. So -2, 1, 2, 8. Okay, range. -3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Because 8 repeats itself in the domain, you do not need to write it twice. You can if you want, though. Domain. The x value is -5, 0, 2, 4. The range. -3, -2, -1. Domain. The arrows go on forever, so -infinity to infinity. Range. Bottom to top, least to greatest. So -infinity to the peak, which is 2. Oh, bracket on the 2. Because it's included. Remember, parentheses are used for open circles and infinity, and brackets are used for closed circles, aka dots, that are included in the function. Okay? Domain. -3, -2, 1. Range, bottom to top, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1. There we go. Okay. Should be familiar. We did all of this in Algebra 2. Okay, we're going to use Desmos to help us graph these so you can see what they are. But this first one is a hyperbola. So when you type it into Desmos, it should create 2 sideways parabolas. So our box is going to be on the 3's because the square root of 9 is 3. We're going to have asymptotes going through the corners. And then because x comes first, goes down horizontally. Okay. You can type this equation straight into Desmos, but if you want to get y by itself, you can also do that. The domain for this is -∞ to -3, bracket, and then it picks back up on 3, so 3 to infinity. Range is bottom to top, which will go on forever in both directions, so -∞ to infinity. Oh, it doesn't ask for us to find range. Okay, never mind. We don't have to worry about the range. Okay, this is going to be a parabola. -b over 2a will help us find our vertex. So -4 over 2 times 1 is -2. Plug the -2 back in, so y equals -2 squared plus 8 times not 8, I multiplied it, 4 times -2. So 4 minus 8 is -4. So our vertex is at -2, -4. -2, -4. And then from there, because it's a parabola, it's the pattern, up 1 over 1 in both directions, up 4 over 2, both directions. There's our parabola. Domain for a parabola is -∞ to infinity. Okay, we are going to have some asymptotes on -2 and 2. Cubic function going through the center at 0, 0, and then the L's for the rational part. So domain is -∞ to the asymptote, which was at -2, and then from -2 to 2, and then picks back up 2 to infinity. All parentheses on these because the asymptotes are not real values. It's not considered an included point, so you always use parentheses on those for asymptotes. Okay. For a square root function, we need what is underneath to stay positive and greater than or equal to 0. Okay, add 4x over, so 3 is greater than or equal to 4x. X less than or equal to 3/4. So the domain is -∞ to 3/4. And bracket on that because it's included. We get the equal symbol. So 3/4 going to the left. Desmos will help you find all of these points as well if you click on the dots. Okay, applications. Terry is a sales clerk at Electronics Depot who earns $275 base pay plus $15 for each item sold. Express her gross salary G as a function of the number X of items sold. Find her gross pay if she sells 12 items. Okay, so G of X, that's what this means. G as a function of the number X, okay? She gets paid $275 no matter what she sells, plus $15 per item she sells. Now for 12 items, so G of 12 will be 275 plus 15 times 12. So when she sells 12 items, her total salary is $455. There we go. If your pre-calc book is dropped from a height of 25 meters on the planet Newton, its height after t seconds is approximately that function. How long does it take the book to hit the surface? Okay, so if we're going to hit the surface, that means the height has to be 0. So we're setting this equation equal to 0. So 25 minus 12t squared equals 0. Add 12t squared to the other side. So 25 equals 12t squared. Divide by the 12. 25 twelfths equals t squared. And square root. So t is approximately, well, sorry, you're solving. So plus minus 25 twelfths, which is approximately, oh, we don't need plus minus, this is time. Because it's time, time is always positive. So square root of 25 twelfths, which is approximately 1.443 seconds to hit the ground. Okay. That is a lesson for today. Have a great day.